It was a bright, sunny day in the forest, and a young girl named Alice was out for a walk. She loved to explore the woods, and she was always careful to stay on the paths and not wander too far from home. But on this particular day, something unexpected happened. As Alice was walking through the forest, she came across a sly fox who seemed to have mischief on its mind. Before Alice knew it, the fox had grabbed her by the arm and pulled her deep into the woods. Alice's parents, who had always been worried about their daughter's safety in the forest, were devastated when they heard what had happened. They cried and begged the fox to release their daughter, but the cunning creature seemed to have other plans. It was only a matter of time before they learned the true extent of the fox's wicked intentions. As the fox led Alice deeper into the forest, she began to feel more and more scared. She had never been this far from home before, and she had no idea how she was going to get back. The fox seemed to be leading her in circles, and no matter how hard she tried, she couldn't escape its grasp. Meanwhile, Alice's parents were beside themselves with worry. They had searched the entire forest for their daughter, calling her name and leaving no stone unturned. But no matter how hard they looked, they couldn't find a trace of her. They were heartbroken and couldn't stop crying, imagining all the terrible things that might have happened to their beloved daughter. As the sun began to set and darkness fell over the forest, Alice's parents were losing hope. They had searched for hours and still had no idea where their daughter was. They were tired, hungry, and completely drained of energy. Just when they thought things couldn't get any worse, they heard a faint cry for help in the distance. It was Alice's voice, and it sounded like it was coming from deep within the forest. Without hesitation, Alice's parents ran towards the sound of her voice, determined to rescue their daughter no matter what. They pushed through the underbrush and scrambled over fallen branches, ignoring their own exhaustion and fear. And finally, after what felt like an eternity, they saw their daughter in the distance. She was being held by the fox, which had a wicked grin on its face. But Alice's parents were not about to let the fox get away with its nefarious plan. They rushed towards the fox, determined to save their daughter and bring her home safe and sound. As Alice's parents ran towards the fox, they knew they had to act quickly. They had no idea what the fox had in store for their daughter, but they were determined to rescue her at all costs. With all their strength, they grabbed onto the fox and tried to pry it away from Alice. The fox fought back with all its might, snarling and snapping at Alice's parents, but they were not about to give up. They knew they had to get their daughter to safety, and they were willing to risk it all to do so. Finally, after a long and grueling struggle, Alice's parents managed to overpower the fox and free their daughter. Alice ran into her parents' arms, sobbing with relief and gratitude. Her parents held her close, crying tears of joy and gratitude. They had been through so much together, and they were grateful to have their beloved daughter back safe and sound. As they made their way out of the forest, Alice's parents couldn't help but reflect on the journey they had just been through. They had faced unimaginable challenges, but they had never given up hope. And in the end, their love and determination had paid off. They were a family again, reunited and stronger than ever.